Taurus, hi. So this is going to be a reading for August 3rd through the 9th. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see. Taurus. What do we got? The overall energy for the reading, the Seven of Cups. We got choices, we got options, we got a lot of things opening up here. I'm not sure if you're interested in any of that, but we got some stuff popping in for you. In the recent past, the Fool, the King of Wands, the Lovers. Ooh, that's a connection. Very strong connection to someone. A lot of chemistry, a lot of depth, a lot of openness. Because it felt so intense and so good and yada, yada, yada. So good overall. Now, in the current situation, the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Swords. Like, you're good and all. You know, your energy seems to be stable. You seem to be in a pretty balanced place there. Like, you got it going on. You go about your life in a regular, I got this type of way. But somewhere within you, you feel a sense of defeat for some reason. And I don't know where that's coming from. It's way in the background there. Like, you couldn't tell. People around you couldn't tell that, hey, you were feeling that. You know, no. What you're showing up in is this steady energy. So nobody would be able to tell really that you're feeling this. Except for me here. Okay, we'll see. In the immediate future, the Ten of Wands, the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles. This seems to be a pretty stable, steady, balanced energy that you're finally feeling between your mind and your heart. There's a sense of harmony there. There's a sense of your heart is open, your mind is clear, like a good package overall. You're giving me a sense of it's hard to stick with it. It's hard to, I feel like I have all that in place. It's hard to remove myself from especially this feeling of defeat, which for the most part, this feeling comes from you stressing out about stuff, or, you know, maybe there's something in particular that is kind of pointing at a fear within you or something. So that's, but feeling this is still in the background there, brings your energy a little down, a little, like, even if you know you've got it, it's like blah, you know. So now you're telling me, hey, I think I've, you know, gotten past this feeling like blah. I think I feel way better. It's just hard to sustain this and not go back to the blah, you know. So maybe you've been working on whatever is creating the sense of defeat here, who knows. But let's clarify, let's see what's up. Oh my god, Kai is the biggest snorer. That's an airplane. That's not Kai. He's not that loud. For the Seven of Cups, you get Six of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Wands. I think you turn your back to there's some choices you may have had here, and I think you turned your back to those. And I think you went with whatever felt right to you in the moment. So kind of like, well, yeah, I'm seeing all of this that I can work with. I'm seeing all of this that I can open up to. But I think I'll go with that because that just feels good for right now, you know? So it feels, yeah, I'll go with that, you know? Even though these choices that were opening up for you were more, they seem more solidified, like, you know, they would take you somewhere. You would have an end result. You would have at least an idea of these energies taking you somewhere. But this one, no, not really. It's just in the moment it feels good, you know? But you still go for it because it feels good in the moment. Okay. Let me do the Fool in the recent past. That was Kai, if you heard it. For the Fool, you get Six of Pentacles, the Devil, the Two of Cups. So things did work out freaking amazingly for a little bit, and then they twisted. Did they twist, or did someone twisted them? Someone twisted them. Okay. So I see your energy being open to something here happening between you and another energy, which is freaking amazing, out of this world. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it is that. It is that for a little bit. And then someone applies a little bit of a twist on everything and is looking at things from a different angle, but a little bit of a distorted angle, which creates distortion over this whole situation for whoever's doing this. So if I were to perceive something from, you know, the what it is angle, I would be like, oh my God, this is freaking amazing. I turn a little bit to a different side to look at things from a different angle, and I have a distortion lens in front of me. I'm going to see it as, ew, ew, how could I have believed that when it's actually that? Ew. Because I'm looking at the energies and I'm like, the energies are fine. Somebody's twisting them. Not intentionally, but you know, it happens sometimes. When we want to see the worst in things, we're going to see the worst in things. You know, it's a choice. Okay. Let me see. The King of Wands in the recent past, the Five of Cups, the Star, the King of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. I think it was you that chose the distorted lens to place over the situation, because then, you know, you were justified to just be like, oh, it wasn't what I thought it was. Boo-hoo, I thought it was this, that, and the other, but it wasn't that. Boo-hoo, let's move away. Let's move on and away from this. Okay. Now, though, why? I see the energies, and I'm like, the energies are pretty big here. You know, they're pretty intense. And then I'm seeing an oversimplification of things here, and I don't know where it's coming from. I'm assuming it's you maybe not wanting to go in the depth of whatever this was and just kind of keeping it there shallow on the surface, like, you know, because this would be considered an energy that's a little bit different than all the others that you're dealing with, right? Because it feels so intense, because it feels this, that, and the other. And you would take this and place it in, like, if you were to have a box for different experiences from your life, right? You would have the box of whatever, best friend in your childhood, the box of your first significant other, the box of, you know, things like that. This would have its own little box. You kind of take this, or try to take this, and kind of throw it in the pile of whatever, you know, whatever other that doesn't really have a box, but it is a box, but with all the miscellaneous. No, whatever. It's a whatever. And I'm like, this is not a whatever. So why are we trying to make it that? So that we don't go deep there, so that we don't go into the possibility of the healing that this was trying to show to. Maybe. Because yeah, you're at the end of it, you're like, it didn't work out. It's okay. I'll move on. I'll find something else. Cool. Cool. And okay. For the Nine of Pentacles in the in the current situation, you get the Tower, the Death card, the Queen of Cups. Your heart is completely shut down, and not only that, it's shut down and buried. You made sure of it. I don't know what happened there. In the chapter of love for you, but you locked it away and threw away the key at some point. Let me guess, it's that whatever experience that did that. That's why this energy is kind of predominant, the one in which you do show up stable, balanced, cool, but very practical, because your heart is nowhere in sight. Well, what are we going to do about that one? Let me do the Nine of Swords. You get the Eight of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Two of Swords. And you know you need your heart. You know you need that balance. Because you're human. What are you going to do if you don't function from your heart at all your life? Live under these energies? This is not cool. We need that balance. We need that heart of ours. That's the goal of life, basically. So we can't just keep it shut forever, because otherwise you'll just function under the energies of the mind. And if you let the mind take over and run your life completely, yeah, it may feel good for 2 minutes because you feel like you're in control, but you're not in control. Your mind is, of your life, your flow of your evolution. And the mind, we know how troublesome that can be. Especially when it's not clear. And right now it's looking like it's piling up into unclear. For the 10 of Swords, in the current situation, you get the 4 of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles. Shallow. Because you're showing me, okay, there are partnerships in my life that I am invested in, that I am interested in, that I'm opening up to. But again, keeping it at that surface level. And you're telling me, I'm not feeling much there. They're not satisfying. It's not a lot. Well, it's because your heart is a prisoner somewhere. How are you going to feel anything? But hey, I'm just going to show up here. If it works out, good. If not, whatever. And I feel like a pattern has been created from this situation. I feel like maybe you've been avoiding to go deep within this one because it might have hurt to go deep within this one. And that's the time in which your heart became a prisoner because you didn't want to feel, obviously, if you took this situation shallow like that. And then ever since, everything is shallow. Nothing is really felt on your end. And you probably are blaming all of these. Something's wrong with the world or with people. And as right as you are sometimes about that, no, this time it's you. This time it's you. Your heart is shut down. So you're not going to feel much. For the 10 of Wands in the immediate future, you get the 9 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Cups. If you keep on going like this and don't appeal to your heart at all and don't try to connect to your heart at all, you will reach this place of, you think it's bad now, this is feeling like emotionally numb. Like you can't feel shit about shit, nothing. Nothing moves you, nothing. So if things keep going like this is a place that you're getting at, of numbness, emotional numbness. However, let me do the King of Cups, the 4 of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. There's an energy that returns to remind you about love. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means. That doesn't have to be, a person is coming back to show you. It could even be a movie that you saw when you were a little kid with your dad. And your dad is no longer here, but the movie takes you right back into that moment and it appeals to your heart and it opens up your heart. So it's something like that. There's an energy that you're already connected to from your heart, but because you're not in access to your heart, you wouldn't necessarily feel it, but it's already there. And it's coming back to remind you to open up your heart. Cool. You're going to need that, especially here when you get to this place of numbness. Let me see the King of Pentacles. In the immediate future, you get the Page of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Sun. Yeah. There's an innocence to it, which makes sense that this type of an energy would remind you of love, basically, because that's what it's doing. It's reminding you of love and happiness and simplicity and, not overcomplicating things and shutting everything down just so that you don't feel And the minute that this energy returns, I feel like it's kind of like automatically it appeals to your heart. Like it gets you there. And you're like, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. You know, especially after this shutdown, drastic shutdown. Because right now you're not in the drastic shutdown place, but again, if you continue like this without trying to connect back to your heart, then you will get to the drastic shutdown. But there's a savior energy here that comes in, not to save you, but just to remind you that, hey, start feeling, and you will. From the universe for you, as a final advice, you get Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Six of Wands. Yeah, this is probably the only energy that could do that for you, in the sense of remind you. Because you're giving me a sense of the right time and the right place, you know, as far as this energy goes. In the sense of, it may find you in your darkest hour here to bring you back up or something. You're pointing towards this energy and you're showing me that connection to it. So it's there. You just have to kind of go there, and somehow I think you will. You're looking like you're, again, instantaneously almost, the minute this energy shows up for you, it's appealing to your heart. It's opening up your heart. So it's almost looking like you're kind of expecting it to do that too, or waiting for it to show up. But anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.